Good morning, my second graders. Today I'm gonna show you how to make a coil pot with the air dry clay. Before we start, it's always good to have some table mat. I'm using my old paper. We need something round we can use to cut out a circular slab and some clay tools like this. Anything you can cut your clay with, like plastic knife or popsicle stick, will do. And you also need a half cup of water. For this coil pot project, I'm gonna use about 1/3 of the air dry clay you got from the school, but of course you can make it a little bigger using more clay or smaller with the less clay. It's up to you. We get started with making a platform that will be a circular slab. We all learned how to make a slab from the last lesson. It's pretty much like making a pancake, right? And I flatten it first and I cut it out with this round tin cover. Remove the excessive clay. And there we got a round slab that will be a base of our coil pot. Even the thickness of my slab is very much like a pancake. Now I'll be starting to make a lot of coils for building. We all learned how to make a coils from the last lesson. You will work in the middle first and slowly spread your hands outward while spreading your fingers. I don't want my coil to be too thin because I want it to have some stability. I'm working on the second coil now, and I try to make it look just like the one before. I know many of my second graders can make a very nice coil. Try your best to make your coil evenly thick everywhere. You can't really make a nice pot with a bumpy coil. Whenever you feel that your clay is getting dry, you can always put a bit of water on your fingers and continue rolling. Your clay will always go dry because of the temperature of your hands. I made 5 of them and I think it's enough to build with, so let's start building. I'm gonna take my first coil and place it very carefully on the slab. And this extra part, I cross it over and cut it off to match up really nicely. The next thing you will do is, inside the pot, you use your finger to smooth it down onto the bottom. It works a lot better with some water on your finger. So smooth it down all the way onto the bottom. You notice how I'm using my another hand to support it from outside so I can keep my pot in a good shape without distorting it. This is how it looks from outside. Let's take another coil, and this time again we're gonna place it carefully on top of the one before. Cross over and cut the excessive off to match up nicely. You can use a finger to cut it off actually. Put some water on your finger to smooth it down like we did before. You have to always make sure that your new coil will be well connected with the one below. If not, then they might all fall apart when it's all dry. You may try using some round end tool like this. I will also try to see if using a tool to smooth down works better for me. All this time, you notice that I'm being very careful not to ruin the shape of my pot. I keep supporting it from outside with my another hand. We are done with our coil pot, but I think it looks a bit too simple, doesn't it? I want to make it look fancier and more beautiful by adding some swirls on top. All we need to do to make a clay swirl is to make a thin and long coil first and roll it up like snail. You have to make sure that your clay is not dry. You have to add some water whenever it feels too dry. Roll it up nicely about halfway. And I'll start rolling it up from this side to go another halfway. We want to make sure that our swirl won't fall out when attached to the pot. So this time, boys and girls, I'm gonna do scratch and water, the technique we learned in the last video. We all remember how to do it, right, boys and girls? We first make some scratch marks and add some water that will work as a glue. And it's very important that even after scratch and water, you still need to smooth down the inner part, even on your swirl, to completely seal it. And I'm gonna make a few more swirls and place them nicely on top. Finally, we are done, really done this time. I know many people can't wait to color your coil pot. You have to first wait until it's all dry and you can paint it. If you're unable to do painting at home, you're welcome to bring it to school when the school resumes, hopefully, and paint it during art class. Okay, boys and girls, the clay you didn't use today, please wrap it nicely in the plastic bag. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.